In Tides of Annihilation, it isn't just London Bridge that's falling down. It's the entire city that's been razed to ruins by an unknown presence invading from a mysterious otherworld. And you're the only human survivor left to stop it. This action-adventure, heavily inspired by Arthurian legend, made a serious splash when it was announced early last year. But I was initially concerned that the fast-paced slash-em-up from first-time developer Eclipse Glow Games may have been all style over substance. However, after spending roughly 2 hours of hands-on time with a preview build at a recent event, I'm happy to say that Tides of Annihilation feels just as exhilarating to play as it is utterly dazzling to watch.
Okay, this is good to hear. I really hope this game is I love these like hack and slash games, so I'm really hoping this is good. I don't want this game to be like this, but we'll see.
You are nothing but a worm, while I am destined for glory.
Because at the end of the day, IGN is iffy, so you can't always just trust anything these niggas saying. But hopefully, when the shit gets announced or whatever, when it gets released, it's good.
While previous Tides of Annihilation trailers have depicted a broken down Big Ben and lopsided London Eye, during my hands-on demo my investigations into its blight-riddled version of Old Blighty were restricted to a ruptured reworking of the British Museum. Referred to here as the Great Russell Museum, presumably for boring legal reasons, this iconic piece of architecture has been torn asunder, buckled and blown apart by twisting branches and rivers of red running through it. It's a unique and captivating experience to wander around a modern structure that's been so significantly warped by otherworldly forces. It feels a bit like you hopped on the tube at Waterloo Station but accidentally got off somewhere in Elden Ring's Lands Between. This section is apparently several hours into the adventure, so the only context I had for why protagonist Gwendolyn had arrived inside the museum's artifact-lined walls was that she was in search of a shard of the Holy Grail.
The Grail shard is in there.
Assisting in her hunt was Ninian, a young fairy with the ability to transform into a bird. She basically served as a shape-shifting signpost pointing to the next main objective, gliding away to perch on a piece of scenery in order to subtly indicate the way forward.
I wish I had wings.
But I'm told by the development team that she's an extremely important character to Tides of Annihilation's story.
You're right. Thank goodness.
I also met this bizarre pair of snake-like creatures with hands for heads that seemed like they'd slithered straight out of Jim Henson's Labyrinth.
We're helping hands.
But almost everyone else I encountered was desperately trying to kill me.
Let's see.
Thankfully, Gwendolyn is supremely well equipped to conquer any contenders that stand in her way. In addition to a fairly standard
like an ability?
suite of sword slashes, dodges, and parries, Gwendolyn has a pair of spectral knights that can be triggered with a well-timed button press to beam in out of the ether with a series of strikes that powerfully punctuate each of her attack combos. Initially, my use of these roundtable knights was less Camelot and more Spam-a-lot, as I gleefully button-mashed my way through the less intimidating hordes that greeted me after my arrival at the museum. But by the time I found myself being tested by the demo's first boss, I'd really started to grasp the subtleties
These
of
things have
Tides
a
of Annihilation's
break
setup.
meter like Final Fantasy 16. Is that what I'm seeing? That's
You
what
can
it looks
modify
like.
Gwendolyn's strikes by holding a shoulder button to uppercut enemies and juggle them in the air, perform charged attacks to deal heavier damage,
Get lost!
trigger devastating execution moves once you've lowered an enemy's stagger meter.
I really hope that. I hope this game is good.
And once you've successfully landed enough blows, you can unleash a spectacular ultimate skill attack that rains down electrical bolts that pulverize everyone in their path.
Cause like I'm one of them people. I don't like getting. I like keeping my expectations like mellow to the point where it's like not mellow. Like I'm not gonna say I've never been excited because I do get excited for games and announcements, but like I don't like seeing shit and me being like something I really like, and I'm like, let me not get too high on it. Cause sometimes a lot of shit can sometimes end up being mid. Like maybe the story just doesn't fucking matter. Cause I'm not gonna lie, when I first seen Crimson Desert, I was excited, but like when it started getting closer and closer to the game's release, I started realizing, oh yeah, I'm probably not gonna like this shit. So like, I guess we really just gotta wait to see with this game, but I don't even think they announced like a release date yet, so maybe they will talk about it at the end of this video.
Everything feels supremely responsive to pull off, and the silky smooth animations keep it all flowing fluidly from one combo to the next. You can also get strategic in terms of which knights you want to employ. Gwendolyn can have 2 pairs of steel-covered soldiers to choose from at any one time, mapped to the left and right buttons of the D-pad so you can switch between them on the fly.
Okay, that looks really cool.
As your stable of spectral sidekicks grows by unlocking new knights from defeating certain sub-bosses, you have the freedom to mix and match these pairs in order to create a loadout that best suits your personal playstyle. You might want to pair the short-range specialties of the scythe-wielding Bedivere with Gawain's ability to teleport straight to targets, for example. Or perhaps you'd prefer to partner the guard-breaking attacks of Palamedes with Kay's ability to temporarily freeze opponents and buy you some breathing space during a battle. There were 5 knights available in my demo, but the developers told me that was just a small sample of the roster.
Ooh, if they're saying there's 5 knights, and that's only a small sample, bro, this shit could have some crazy gameplay
That will be available in the finished game. And I'm excited to see how creative the combat can become as Gwendolyn's gaggle of guardians grows. Although it might sound like quite a lot to manage, Tides of Annihilation's greatest magic trick is that it puts you in charge of this spectral horde of King Arthur's crows.
No, I think if you like games like this, it should, I mean, maybe if you've never played a game like this, but if you've played like Devil May Cry, like, bro, this shouldn't be a lot to manage. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, for somebody that's new, I could see it being like, damn, like, fuck do I click?
Down a fight with any form of fiddly micromanagement.
I mean, even with these type of games though, like if you just button mash, you'd probably be fine. The cool part about games like this is like the fact that you can just make crazy combos and shit. So you'll be alright.
Combat is consistently up tempo, never sacrificing any speed in favor of strategic flexibility.
That's tough.
Getting your combinations of knights right and efficiently employing their support skills is crucial in order to overcome Tides of Annihilation's beefier boss encounters. And there were 2 main story villains to overcome in my demo. After battling my way to the museum's Egyptian wing, I was suddenly teleported into a sand-swept desert realm and pitted head-to-head with the polearm-toting Anubis, who unleashed devastating tornado attacks upon a perilous pair of platforms that made up a giant set of scales. Later on, I faced off against the surprisingly nimble Mordred inside the museum's library in an extremely cinematic multi-phase fight.
How boring!
Mordred filled me with more dread when she eventually emerged from the earth atop a dragon big enough to intimidate a Targaryen, forcing me to take evasive measures as she swooped down and engulfed the combat arena in purple flames. Both of these battles absolutely popped with visual flair and challenged me to continually mix up my approach as each boss intensified their assaults. Gwendolyn's armor-suited allies aren't just handy friends to have in battle. A number of their unique abilities can also be employed while exploring the world around her.
Speaking of which, here comes practice.
The archer, Boars, can be used to fire rope arrows in order to create new paths with zip lines. Or to fire a cleaving bolt to tear through ropes that may be suspending treasure chests from a ceiling.
Exactly what I need.
Meanwhile, the burly Palamedes has more useful functions than a smartwatch, since he can punch through cracked walls or lift heavy doors to open up hidden rooms, as well as drag stone columns or raise heavy crates to create a platform towards objects that are otherwise out of reach. The implication is that each spectral knight that Gwendolyn recruits to her cause will open up new methods for navigating Tides of Annihilation's environments, potentially leading to a Metroidvania-style structure where you're consistently given reasons to revisit earlier areas in order to unlock secrets that were previously inaccessible. Exploring off Gwendolyn's path of destruction also rewards you with optional combat challenges and even additional boss fights. When I wandered into the museum's Chinese gallery, I got a cryptic clue from an NPC about a cursed fiend prowling the building's halls.
Must be a nasty sort for you to single him out.
And by tracking him down, I was eventually drawn into a fierce battle against a samurai surging with electricity. Later on, after I'd shifted into the desert realm, I explored the sand surrounding the museum only to be set upon by a particularly tough tormentor who was able to tear portals through time and space in order to perform devastating darting attacks that ambushed me from opposing sides of the arena. Elsewhere, there was the odd environmental puzzle to pause and ponder over, including a pretty novel brain teaser that involved manipulating the pieces on a giant double-sided chess set. Aside from being fun in their own right,
Okay, so it seems
completing
like
these
there's gonna be a
optional
decent amount of.
puzzle and combat
Oh, they said
oriented
they're
challenges earns Gwendolyn everything from more damaging swords to sturdier sets of armor, as well as special badges that can be equipped to grant her additional buffs. When I was felled during a gravity-defying platforming section,
Wait.
right at the climax of the Mordred encounter, I was certainly glad that I'd equipped the badge that brought Gwendolyn back to life with half her health, so that I was able to keep calm and carry on with the rest of the fight.
Hold on. Okay, I gotta see. I have to see
While
what these
Gwendolyn's
bosses are
suite of
like.
controls felt
Because
supremely responsive and flexible for the most part, I did sense
Hold
some
on.
minor restrictions with her movement that I hope are remedied ahead of Tides of Annihilation's eventual release. Namely, her sprinting speed feels in need of a substantial boost, since shifting from a walk to a run only feels like a fairly modest change in pace. Similarly, her agility in the air appears in need of some tweaks, because at present she's a bit too beholden to the bounds of gravity. I wouldn't say that Gwendolyn even has a double jump, it's more like a 1.5 jump at best. And that made some platforming sections feel ever so slightly stiff as a result. However, my biggest
I could see that.
complaint after my short time with Tides of Annihilation is that I honestly wish it had lasted for longer, and that can only be a good sign. Especially since so many of the awesome encounters that have been teased in previous trailers, including the looming Shadow of the Colossus inspired giant knights that double as both intense platforming
that's
challenges
Was that
and
the
breathtaking
IGN Frank? That gotta be like the old reveal trailer.
boss fights were completely absent
Holy
from this
shit,
hands-on
why did it
build.
look like that?
Indeed, there's clearly still much to learn about this alluring action-adventure that's currently in development for PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, including its release date. It's yet to be officially announced, and if I had to guess, I wouldn't expect it before mid-2027 at the...
I will say, I do wonder, like, he talked about how the movement felt kind of clunky, which I hope it gets better, but I do wonder, like, if they're gonna, because a lot of times in certain games, movement will feel slightly weird because there will be ways to, like, upgrade your movement and shit like this, but I will say, kind of depends on, like, how weird and clunky it feels. Like, if it just doesn't feel good to play it, an upgrade isn't gonna, like, fix that all the way. Like, it could, but I don't know, so.
earliest. But if this fantastic first taste is anything to go by, then Tides of Annihilation seems likely to grip me harder than a knight trying to pull a sword from a stone. For more IGN previews, check out our hands-on impressions with
That looks good. I think that looks good. Now I want to see the 7-minute boss fight. Like, freak the talking. I just want to see this. This is really what I want to see. Is it on the highest? Because I don't want to. It does look kind of. It looks good. Okay, this was the samurai boss fight he was talking about. Okay, so there is a counter, which I kind of seen in the other trailer. It's like a tutorial boss fight. Damn, there's a lot going on. I do wonder, what does this burst ability do? I wonder if they're gonna show the... Probably not, maybe. I guess this isn't a tutorial fight, obviously, because it's a lot going on. I doubt they'd put this in the tutorial. It's probably just because it's an early build, so they just trying to teach the whoever's playing it for the first time what to do. I'm assuming that's what they did. Okay, so boss is second phase. Dang, I wish I would have watched this first instead of watching the I guess the first trailer or whatever, first preview. But it's fine. Well, no, not really. Because then I wouldn't have known what some of these abilities do. Yeah, so there is a like break meter like in Final Fantasy 16 to where like once you attack the boss enough, they'll get like slightly stunned. Yeah. Yeah, and then you just... Animation was a little weird. Let me go back. Hold on. Animation was a little weird. Oh, now I'm bugging. I'm tripping. Okay, I really do like... Yo, wait. This boss is fucking crazy. Like, I really like the way this nigga looks. Oh my gosh. Dang, he died. Oh, that's they got the low ability where you come back. Okay. Actually, no, it's good I watched this second. That would have been lost. Damn, it's not done? Oh. The heck? That was cool. Very confused on what's going on, but you know, that's normal. I'm not supposed to be able to really tell what's going on. I gotta see a little bit more, but that looked very tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. When is this game releasing? I don't think it's releasing. I don't think they have a release date. It says no earlier than mid to late 2027.